Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Wuthering Waves is finally helping us with the drought that we've been experiencing over the past couple of weeks regarding the game, and they have some special materials available for none other than Angel Galbrena. Nero, whatever you want to call her, devils will cry. I'm ready to see what this preview is looking like over here. We got a short 1-minute clip, and then of course her entire lore reveal. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking kind of excited for this one, especially considering the role that Galbrena played in so much of the first half of the 2.6 story. A lot of people said, right, oh man, this scene in Murmurstown is so slow. But I do believe that we're gonna cash in on that time investment that we made around 30, 40 days ago. So let's go ahead, let's check out this teaser over here, share our thoughts, then get right on into that story overview.
Galbrena, the fiend of ever-burning flame, the Discord Slayer.
Bro, it's like Discord Slayer is like, it should be a badass title, but it sounds like so lame because of what Discord is. Like, it should be a badass title, but because you know Discord is like a gaming messaging platform, it just, all I can think of is like some fat dude in a fedora with like a katana, and he's all like, I'm the Discord Slayer. That's all I can think of, bro. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ruining this character. Let's just keep playing the video. Fuck.
Call me what you want. Just point me to the monsters.
Now I'm thinking of all of the crimes that the FBI has to investigate on this. Okay. Okay, this is just showing off her animations. We'll be able to take a look at those later. Is that it? Oh, what about the combi animation? Let's get a review of that. Oh, that's badass. I hope she flies. I hope that when you fly with her in the overworld, you can make, like, the conscious decision to turn her, like, equipped wings into these ones. If that isn't an option for her, that's so fucking lame, right? Like, you should be able to use these wings in, like, the equipped slot. So when you use the flight gadget, these pop out instead. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that degree of power creep, right? That's pretty neat. Bro, she's just flying. Give her those wings. When... Bro, I don't know why. I don't know what she does. I don't know why she like moving like that. She looked like a snake. Anyways, that'll be that for the 55-second clip. Pretty excited for that overall. Let's learn a bit more about the Discord. Let's learn more about the Discord Slayer. Galbrena. Affiliation. Unknown. She's on the Black Shores. Attribute. Fusion. Galbrena. The fiend of ever-burning flame. Discord Slayer. Story. About Galbrena. The way of the gunfighter. Many thought Galbrena only used guns to fight, a misconception she never bothered to correct and exploited to her advantage. Okay. I see. Who are the many over here? Because she, in my opinion, is one of the most mysterious characters that's ever actually appeared in the story. We basically only get to see her way early on in her life when she was like a child on Hell, and then she like got whatever is going on. I'm wondering who she like learned fighting from all of this, all of that. Because yeah, she's got like the Blake bloom on like her arm, so a lot of people think she's from the Black Shores, but it's like, then theoretically Rover, Camellia, all of them shorekeepers should know her as well. We'll see. Maybe that's how they get brought into the Septimonte story. So yeah, when her guns were knocked out of her hands, it was always by deliberate choice rather than by accident. Oh, she's a master tactician. Her enemies would let their guard down and advance. When they closed in, Galbrena attacked either by commanding the slippery serpent. Brother, what the phrasing, Kuro games? Why are you talking about Galbrena's slippery serpent? to fire or striking with her feathers and even her own blood. In short, hard training and an unbreakable mind have turned her into a formidable weapon. I'm very interested in finding out more about her past. I know we've already seen like a good portion of it when she grew up with Augusta in Murmurstown, but there's just so much empty space, right? Because Augusta, after the incident, went on to become the Emperor of Septimont through years of training, while we've got no information at all. So then, why does she bother with guns? Because guns make quick work of enemies from a distance. Galbrena avoids people at all costs. Not that she doesn't know how to interact with others, well-traveled as she is, she simply does not enjoy human contact. Why? If she could get a discount on strangely named beverages by simply shouting their names without haggling, she would gladly do so. Galbrena, if you're looking for advice, and maybe we'll give her this advice as Rover, the best way to get a discount when you're purchasing things is just aim your gun at the store vendor. I guarantee you will get an amazing discount and you won't have to talk to people. Yeah, you won't have to talk to people. Maybe that's what's going to be featured in her story quest. All right, now let's get on into the meat of the discussion. The Discord slang. Oh, and for the previous tip that I talked about before of how to get discounts, I'm American, so just take it from me. I would know best how that method works. All right, Discord slang. Discord slang is a trade that entails identifying tacit discords, locating their weakness, and choosing the right weapon and much more. You know what? A lot of people have been saying Devil May Cry. Right now, based off that description of what Discord slang is, she reminds me of a Witcher. And once you think about it, and you think about her personality, she's a little bit like gender-bent Geralt. Now that you think about it, because that dude is antisocial as hell as well. That guy, if you played like Witcher 2 and 3, he hates talking to people too. And, well, when I think about Discord slang, this literally sounds exactly like the investigation that you do in like the Witcher 3 games to hunt down certain monsters. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. I'm beginning to see the parallels. I'm actually much more excited for this character now that I've seen these bits of characterizations, because I'm going to be real over here. Geralt might actually be my favorite character in, like, RPGs. Like, in, like, yeah, just RPGs as a whole. He's probably my favorite one. Galbrena's guns work well on most enemies. But before she wrested them from Chimera's maw, I'm assuming Chimera is one of the discords that she has control of, for the longest time, she crafted her own weapons. But those weapons could not withstand the power of the dark tide and often disintegrated. So she ejects the power of the dark tide through her guns. How does that even work? But she never gave up weaponsmithing and went on to invent many single-use items. Snares, mines, you name it. Is she going to introduce like a new gadget feature? Because I'm not going to lie, it would feel like just kind of like a shame if these aren't present somewhere in her kit. In her opinion, monsters must be put down by any means necessary. Guys, I need Kuro Games to put a scene like this. I need Kuro Games to put a scene like this into Galbrena's story. Let me just show you all this amazing, like, this is a trailer from 12 years ago, guys. I might get like a claim for this. But basically, right, what's going on over here is Geralt, right? The character from Witcher is going ahead. He's turning in a bounty, and this is what he sees.
Choose between one evil and another. I'd rather not choose at all. Just make it quick, Geralt. What the?
So they're basically about to, like, these thugs are about to go, like, murder an innocent woman, essentially.
Close your eyes.
But he also has a monster slaying task from those same guys that are about to murder her. And so this is his response.
Close your eyes. Hit him!
12 years ago, by the way.
What are you doing? Killing monsters.
I want to see Galbrena, like, do something like that now. And she can just lift the quote completely. Just go with killing monsters. As she's, like, you know, wiping out, like, an entire squad of, like, I don't know, like, rogue Septimont agents or, like, something like that. Like, actually, like, maybe the politicians in Septimont as they're, like, trying to, like, execute an innocent civilian or something like that. That would be so cinema. It would be unreal. I need to see that right now. I need to see that immediately in the next patch. So, yeah, that's what I think about the line. In her opinion, monsters must be put down by any means necessary. I want to see her classify a group of humans as monsters and what she does, and just see what she does afterwards. It's worth noting that although Galbrena is a decent cook, she sees food as merely fuel for the body. Unlike how she deals with tacit discords, she treats all life with respect. To her, making delicious dishes out of hunted prey is the highest form of respect conceivable. Wait, we eat TDs? Wait. Is that, like, in lore to eat tacit discords? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like you would get, like, a disease from that. That's just my take. Maybe she hunts animals and stuff like that. I don't know. That said, Galbrena doesn't care much about plating, since she has no one to share her food with. Oh man, they're really tugging on the heartstrings with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see what we got over here. Bird habits. Galbrena acquired her flame wing after devouring... Okay, she does eat tacit discords. Okay, so like her thing is she just eats random fucking shit and then alters the composition of her body and gains new limbs. I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of a freak. Is that like her super... Like, can other people do that too? Are other people allowed to do that as well? I'm not super sure. At first, she had a hard time getting used to flight, and her head was often bruised from crash landings. Now she feels as if she was born to fly. Again, she needs to have an option to use her wings instead of the wing gadget when she flies. Otherwise, I'm actually just gonna be mad, because what else was the point of her having her own wings? During the day, she loiters in the sky, looking down like an eagle in search of prey. At night, she perches on a high branch, resting and unruffling her feathers. Is she even human at this point anymore? Her bird-like qualities are not only a habit, but also stem from the need to keep away from people so as to not cause panic. If on a peaceful evening stroll through the woods, you come across this Discord Slayer, worry not, she will flee before you do. All right, let's move on to the next section. Who is she talking to? Weak tacit discords, and again, I think this is the whole Kha'Zix echo that she's always talking about. Weak tacit discords are absorbed as sustenance right after being devoured by Galbrena's hellfire. But powerful ones are not. Their frequencies remain inside her body. They talk during the day and invade her dreams at night. So basically, this is because she keeps eating them. So she's literally just accumulating like an army of tacit discords inside her because she can't stop eating them. I guess she likes it. Otherwise, she would eat normal fucking food. But yeah, like she could just go to Jinzhou, go to Mahe's grocery store, and just like, I don't know, pick up some flour and wheat and shit. But instead, she's just like going out and slaying monsters and using them for food. And invade her dreams at night, fighting her to the death over and over. What awaits them when she wakes is a trial before hellish flames. No one but Galbrena can hear the tacit discords inside of her, so most people find it disturbing when they chance upon her talking to no one in particular in an accusatory tone with her eyes shut. Maybe Chimera said something inappropriate. I think that's the Kha'Zix sounding echo. Or maybe the tacit discords within are throwing a tea party to plot their revenge. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This character reminds me of a blend of a couple of things. You got that one dude from like Demon Slayer who like eats the demons to gain their powers. You got Geralt and like the whole monster hunting and all of that. And then you got obviously the whole design around looking literally exactly like Nero and Devil May Cry. So that's what I would say. She's got the personality of Geralt, the visual design and combat of Devil May Cry, and then the fucking eating ability from Demon Slayer. Yeah, that's what it seems like. So, a lot of slaying going on over here, ladies and gentlemen. We're slaying devils, we're slaying monsters, and we're slaying demons. All wrapped up into one unit. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like they've hit a lot of nails on the head. Yeah, she's like a chimera of all these characters. Oh my god, we're so nerdy! Alright, let's move on. Let's look at the resonance evaluation report. and take a look at what's actually going on with her fucking ability, because it's absolutely insane. The subject's resonance ability shows prior contamination by the dark tide. The frequency spectrum is heavily obscured and cannot be analyzed via the Rabel method. Okay, so she's just a complete anomaly. Based on the subject's own testimony, corroborated by external sources, she is classified as a congenital resonator. An Overlord class tacit discord is detected within the subject's body. Testing is to be transferred to the Tethys system. So she's at the Black Shores currently. All non-essential personnel are to evacuate to designated safe zones without delay. So yeah, she just holds those discords inside of her body. Sample database late, comparative analysis initiated. The subject's internal frequency is confirmed. Partial matches identified with known tacit discords. Chimera, Galbrena, Harpia, Dullahan, Baylor, and the nameless Dreadshade. I mean, those are all some pretty badass fucking names. So, I guess Galbrena, I remember I had this theory before. I thought that Galbrena wasn't actually going to be the name of the character. That the character's name is still Angel, but like Galbrena's like some other name that they decided to use. And it's pretty clear Galbrena is a tacit discord. So I am even more confused now about what the hell like her naming scheme actually is. Because she's 100% Angel, but Galbrena's a discord that's inside her, but she's calling herself Galbrena. Maybe that discord was like a human. Maybe that discord was something similar to like Frolova, or like whatever Frolova has going on. And like Galbrena was like a person that she ate. I don't know. I'm like theory crafting now, right? Because again, this is not very clear. So yeah, maybe she partook in some cannibalism. Who knows? Again, her past is very dark and mysterious. All identified tacit discords exhibit no hostile behavior under suppression by the subject's own frequency. So yeah, she is like their master. Behavioral stability confirmed under high-stress conditions. Final assessment, containment is not advised. Recommendation, routine examinations. You know, now that I think about this, I would like to see like a almost like horror storyline in Wuthering Ways, where we like look at the individuals where containment was advised, where after their final assessment they should lock them up and put them away. I'd like to see some sort of like prison break or like some containment break, something like that actually occur like in the Black Shores or something like that. And then now you got like an army of just like overclocked freaks going around and causing a ruckus. That would be sick if we could see that. So yeah, the recommendation for her case is routine examinations. The cause of the subject's awakening cannot be confirmed. Her innate flame, once corroded by the dark tide, decayed, but was never fully extinguished. Subsequently, it fused with the tide spawn known as Chimera, altering the flame's nature and granting her the capacity to consume other frequencies. I have a terrible thought. If Galbrena eats other people, will she gain their frequencies too? That's a little terrifying to think about, isn't it? Imagine if she went insane and went evil. Throughout this process, the subject proactively hunts tacit discords, absorbing and transforming their frequencies into her own power. At the present, she is able to wield multiple discord abilities in combat. Kind of makes sense why she deals or is going to deal so much echo skill damage, because it's literally echoes that are, well, she's conjuring up their abilities in combat to deal damage. So, I mean, that is one of the most lore-explanatory reasons for a damage type I've ever seen, right? You got characters like Jian, who just arbitrarily deal heavy attack damage. There's not really a reason for why Jinsei deals resonance skill damage, right? They could have been any other type. But Galbrena, based off of her lore, well, it wouldn't make sense for her to deal anything except echo skill damage with a good portion of her kit. So, yeah, I mean, I gotta say, the characterization, pretty well done over here. A walking museum. Oh, for demons devoured by her flame, there are only two outcomes. Purification and transformation into her power, or utter destruction. Boy, oh boy. I want to see what it looks like if she ever ends up consuming Leviathan. If she ever ends up consuming, well, yeah, like Leviathan or something like that. I think that's her goal, but I feel like she might not be able to handle it. We'll see. All right, and now we got the final article over here, the Overclock Diagnostic Report. And I think this one's a little bit important to think about because, well, her ability sounds like one of the ones that can easily go off the rail. Her ability sounds like one that can very easily overwhelm her and cause major overclocking issues. Despite the immense power Miss Galbrena exhibited after overclocking, including the marked transformation of both appearance and physiology, we nevertheless classify her historical maximum overclocking rating as negligible. The assessment must be understood in context, and I think this is where we're going to get into some of that 2.6 lore. Her resonance ability was once corrupted by the Dark Tide at the, during the 2.6 flashback, leaving her almost entirely depleted of her resonance ability. For a resonator so diminished to achieve overclocking at all, to move from deficit to surplus, from absence to presence, is nothing short of miraculous. Traditionally, overclocking has been defined as a state that exhausts the mind and body, signifying the dominance of destructive tendencies over regenerative ones within resonators. You know what? This might be the most in-depth explanation of overclocking we've ever gotten. Now that I feel like Kuro Games has decided to put these in these reports, someone is for sure going to overclock in the 2.7 story. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, destructive tendencies over regenerative ones within resonators. Galbrena's case, however, compels us to reconsider this definition. In her, overclocking did not manifest as deterioration, but as a signal of rebirth. It suggests that the phenomenon may be closely tied to the will of the resonator, and that, if properly guided, overclocking could potentially yield constructive outcomes, transforming into a power that resonators could one day learn to wield with intent. So, yeah, that's basically just, I think, the definition of a second awakening. I think that's literally like what happened to Jancy in version 1.1. That's what happened to Cantarella in 2.2 and then transferred the ability over to Cartithia. I think this is basically a confirmation, right? That every single character in the game can theoretically go through a second awakening, except probably Jincy and Cartithia, because they've already gotten theirs. So, yeah, I mean, this could also just be a confirmation, right? That any character, except probably those two, can get either like a 5-star version or like a super version, right? So a lot of characters can either probably get that second awakening through like either like a quest or something, and then it just updates the existing character so that they get buffed. Think your Calcharos or your Yinlins, stuff like that. And the lore reasoning is there. I'm just waiting to see if Kuro Games is actually going to go ahead and take the opportunity for it. Because one thing is for certain about this whole overclocking thing. Overclocking essentially means, right, that you're like close to death. And so it would be like a great way to, kill a character, have them overclock, and then go through the second awakening that way. So, yeah. Now, when it comes to the rest of Galbrena over here, it's just like some natural stuff regarding like her appearance and stuff like that. You can read these if you want. She's got cherished items. She's got like this little, charm over here. I don't think it matters too much. She likes popsicles, though. So, yeah, I was mostly interested in sort of like the background lore around her. I'm just going to be real. I think she's a character that has the potential to really alter people's perspective on like the underlying lore of the game. I think that the fact that she's so closely tied to like tacit discords, echoes, overclocking, all of that, when it feels like we've actually taken a step back from this whole like TD thing over the past couple of arcs, I'm glad to see that she's kind of like taking front and center in the next update, and I'm excited to see how like the whole like Discord, tacit Discord, all of that storyline fleshes out further, because it does feel like we're getting closer and closer to knowing more about all of this stuff. So yeah, that'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought about this Discord Slayer, and peace out.